So, trying this again because errors happen. As I was saying before my phone decided not to actually record, this is what my job basically entails, is making these round little bastards shiny. Or at least part of it anyway. That's one of the many things that I deal with. And pardon some of the messes, this is a shop. So it's dirty, it's nasty. But this little tank here with all that fun gizmo on the end of it, some of it's hooked up, some of it's not. That big bastard up there, that's a wheel will get loaded into here. Let's see if I can get a better angle. The wheel will get loaded up there. You can kind of see the gripper from this position and go down into a water and medium mixture that spins the wheel at high speed for about a minute 10 seconds, and they go from being kind of cloudy and crappy looking to being nice and pretty and shiny, if it works right, which it does 90% of the time. But before it gets to all that, there's a whole bunch of other steps, primarily these Gigantor machines here that I'm not going to try to get inside of because I'm not locking out every single machine, but I'll walk down the middle in the work area to get into them. It might get a little dark for the video, but we'll see. Like this guy right here. So your wheel gets dropped down on top of that, and then you can't see all the tooling, but there's one piece of tooling right there that moves around in all of its lovely mechanical CNC styling and drills all the hand holes and bolt holes and valve holes in the machine. I'm walking underneath a robot track, which is right up there. You can kind of see some of the cabling for it. That rolls back and forth. This robot down here rolls back and forth on that up cable track above my head, dropping wheels off at each one of these machines so we can mill. This process is called milling. We can mill and drill the handholds out 5 wheels at a time. And there's the robot there. And she'll track from this position all the way to the end where I was at a moment ago, taking wheels from this conveyor back to the other end. The step prior to that is the pre-stress, just a factory standard, where these machines, these are the old styles, and those 2 machines over there, slightly newer style, and the little load robot for it. We'll take a cut wheel in and pre-stress the metal, make sure it's in good shape and doesn't want to explode and all that. There's a bunch more to the process, but I'm not going to bore you with technical details. You can kind of see in this newer machine here, it's got its own little robot. Its own little thing. Its own little self-enclosed unit. But a freshly cut wheel goes through that process, then goes down to milling, then goes down to polishing. This is another overhead robot. This is where all the rough cut material comes in and goes into these machines, which there are 4 of these guys. And you see that's a gripping mechanism, so the wheels will grip and chuck up onto that. In one direction, get taken out and put into this side. Another direction to be cut from rough material to smooth material. As I come out here to the end, you'll see what a rough material looks like. Some more overhead cranes similar to the other one. And this is the loading zone. Over here, where all the wheels show up to be loaded by that robot onto the overhead gantry to be taken to be cut. Now that product right there is a rough cut 22-inch wheel. It hasn't had all the extraneous material taken off of it, hasn't had the holes cut in it. It's not pretty. So it starts there in the machine line area, and it'll end up looking like these. All nice and cut with their hand holes and bolt holes and valve holes. These have to be polished again because the polishing process didn't work for them. You can tell it works sometimes and it doesn't work others. You can kind of walk through a small area. So one of my shittier portions of my job. We're going to cut back this way. Because it's going to get kind of loud. I don't know how it's going to pick up. Some filter tanks that I have to change on a regular basis. There's a dozen filters in each one of those canisters that need to be changed out. That's a coolant processing tank. So every wheel that goes into a machine needs coolant so it doesn't get too hot, burn up the tools, and a plethora of other reasons. But this is part of the coolant processing system for high pressure and final filtration. And then it goes down over to here to this big tank that's about 25,000 gallons with two of those big old pumps that cycle the coolant from in there through the polishing system. Any extraneous chips and whatnot, large chips, small chips, all that kind of stuff gets taken up those conveyors and dumped out into a processing area, which I'll walk around to. The blue machine you see in the corner is the chip processing machine. It's annoying. It's a piece of garbage. I have to fight with it all the time. I don't want to talk about it. But this is the load end of that, so any chips that are coming from another machinery that is not set up into our central system gets dumped into here, taken down the auger, shredded into very, very small pieces, and then chucked out into a trailer, which is hauled to a recycling center that remakes all of those pieces into new cut billet, which gets turned into more wheels. So we recycle approximately 95,000 pounds of, there's nothing in here, 95,000 pounds of chips. I want to say one of these tanks right here have some in it. We'll see. Not really anything in that one or in that one. What about this one? Yeah. So that's what's left of a wheel after we cut some of it off to get it down to that shiny portion. And we recycle all that, send it back out, have it rebuilt, do it again. Rinse and repeat. It's another smaller machine set up. This area here only does the turning portion, the original pull. Hi.